Today's gospel parable challenges us to consider how we receive and act upon Christ's gospel of life. The Lord compares us to these seeds sown in this parable. All of us have the potential for life in Him, of bearing fruit in His holy name. But some fell on the wayside, some on the rock, some among the thorns, and some on the good soil. And so we consider this day, what kind of seed am I? And what kind of seed do I need to become? The context for understanding this all-important question that Christ poses to us today is one of a farmer sowing, of planting and growing to bring in a good harvest from what he's sown. It's an analogy that would have been readily familiar to those who heard it in Christ's day up until really the modern era, as it is still in much of the rural world and those certainly of us on the Eastern Shore. But even those with some basic familiarity with gardening will also see parallels in our own life, because there's something intrinsic in us that draws us to want to garden, to want to grow, because it was, after all, our first vocation given to us by God before the fall. We read in Genesis 2:15, "Then the Lord took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to tend and keep it." And so this goes to the very heart of our very first vocation in Christ God. Now, like many priests, I also like to garden. Cultivating a garden is not so dissimilar to cultivating souls. Seeing those whom God brings our way coming to and growing in the fullness of the life in Christ is its own great reward. And so whenever I read this parable, it's presented to us each and every year at this time of harvest, I recall the many joys and struggles of gardening and even a little farming and pastoring.